Hey everyone, it's Kim, and I'm here for part 2 of my social media marketing world recap. And since I'm kind of learning this whole video thing as I go along, I thought I'd share a tip with you. Don't watch yourself while you're making video because you will notice all your mistakes and then stop the video every 10 seconds to start over and get nothing accomplished. So that's probably the most important tip. So on to the recap. First of all, I'm going to speak about 4 people that I didn't get to meet all of them, but I did get to hear all of them speak, and they were awesome. Jay Bear, wow, I did actually get to meet him, and he's kind of like a movie star, meaning his presence is huge, and he's got this amazing voice. You wouldn't even expect it. I guess maybe if you look at him, you'd kind of expect the voice, but it's very nice. He was great. He's from Convince and Convert, and the big takeaway from him that stuck in my mind was he said something that content is fire, social media is something. Very, very, really stuck with me, huh? No, content is fire, social media is gasoline. And I agree that social media is the gasoline. It really can just absolutely take your content and just fan the flame and make it go huge and burn brightly, la la, like a star. But it really is, it's true. And I would have to throw in there that I would say that relationships are the kindling. Everything that we learned at social media marketing world is about relationships and getting to know your community and cultivating that community. And the way you do that is through creating relationships with them. So that's what I learned from Jay Bear, and he was pretty phenomenal. Really great speaker. And another person I saw speak, I didn't get to meet him, but I will say that I tweeted him telling him that I'm starting a podcast, and he tweeted me back, which is pretty awesome. Said he watched the first video. So yeah, the pressure's on not to be a total dork. His name is Flynn, if I didn't mention that already, and he spoke about podcasting. It was great. The thing that he did best, he's a very dynamic guy, really high energy. Like, you learn so much. I got out of there, I was exhausted. I'm like, whew. But he was great. And what I learned from him was, well, he had us do this little thing where he said, okay, if you've read a blog post, raise your hand. And how long did it take? And some smart ass says, 30 seconds to read. Well, either he's a speed reader or he's only looking at the pictures. I don't know. But the average person, I think, takes about 2 to 5 minutes to read a blog post. So he's saying, okay, people are spending 2 to 5 minutes on your blog post. He goes, now raise your hand if you've ever listened to a podcast. And of course, his little segment thingy was on podcasting, so everyone raised their hand. And they said, well, if you've listened for more than 5 minutes or 10 minutes, keep your hand up. Everyone did. 25 minutes, hands up. 30 minutes, still majority of hands up. All the way up to an hour, and there were still some hands up, which was really impressive because he made the point then. You've got those people's attention, you're in their ear. That's very personal. You're in their ear, they're listening to you for an hour. To me, that was phenomenal and mind-blowing and eye-opening and really, really struck a chord with me. And even Mike Stelzner in the opening keynote, he said that, let me see, I have a quote from his, podcasting is the hottest thing for 2013, period. And I agree with him. I think that it is amazing. In fact, I did a podcast on Monday with someone, Deborah Shane, and she's great. We did this little podcast, and within the first hour, there are already like 400 downloads. And by this morning, which was less than 48 hours, there was, I think, 3,000 downloads. If I had 3,000 people read my things that I write on my blog or that I write for other people's blogs, I would be jumping for joy. And actually, I am jumping a little bit for joy over the podcast thing because it's amazing and wonderful. So, start a podcast. And Lee Oden, content marketing guy. Probably one of the most important things I learned there was how to pronounce his last name. It's not Oden, it's Oden. So if you ever meet him, now you know how to say his name. Lee Oden. He had so much content that I can't even begin to talk about it all. Luckily, one of the phenomenal things about social media marketing world is they gave us the slides to download. So that was a nifty little thing we could do when we were listening to the speakers. We could download slides of their presentations. All I can say about his content or his presentation was it was so packed full of phenomenal goodness that I just took a lot of notes and downloaded the slides, and I've learned so much. Great tips on content, how to come up with ideas for your blog. He's really awesome. Dave Kirpin, likable. His site is likable, and he's just likable. And he was talking about the four most important words in business, and I would say in life: thank you and I'm sorry. And his point was, if your brand has made a mistake, apologize. Do what you can to make up for it. Don't hide. Don't try to ignore it, because with social media, you can't ignore social media. People make sure that you do not ignore them. So he had just a ton of amazing things. It really struck home with me. The biggest thing I would say is he made us all cry. How's that? We go pay a lot of money to go hear a speaker, and he makes us all cry like a bunch of babies. But it was a good crying, a good tears. It was a really cool video, and he was again making the point that I don't actually remember the point of that particular video, other than it just really moved me. So everything he said was wonderful, but the biggest thing for me was the thank you, saying thank you, and writing thank you notes. Every morning, I get up every morning, and the first thing I do is I pray and I thank the Lord for all the blessings that he's given me, but I try to specifically focus on 3 each morning to put me in the right frame of mind. And this thank you card thing is right along the same lines, except you're physically writing it, which I think can even make more of an impact when you put the pen to paper and you write. So I did that. I started sending thank you notes to everyone that I met or impacted me from the week, and I'm still writing them, but it was great. And I was going to go through the first night, the museum mixer. I was going to do that and talk about that today, so people kind of have an idea of what it was like, since it was great. But I don't want to get too long on this video, so I'm going to end it right now with these 4 speakers: Jay Bear, Pat Flynn, Dave Kirpin, and Lee Odin. Wonderful. You should go look them up. I will leave notes in the comments with links to all of their websites if you don't have them already. But that's it for my recap number 2. And apparently there's going to be a recap number 3, because I want to tell you about the mixers and the fun things in the museum night, and the boat, the yacht harbor cruise thingy, and also some tips on what I did not bring that I should have brought, and next time I will bring with me to Social Media Marketing World, and there will be next time this year. No, it won't be this year. It'll be next year, but I wish it would be this year because it was so fun. That's it. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Oh, subscribe to my channel. I'm supposed to say that, so I just said it. Subscribe to me. Thank you.